today. From Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, there's nothing quite like it. That feeling of beginning another NFL season, and these two squads, they're going to do just that in a moment.
And what makes it so exciting is the range of possibilities these teams have before them, because we could be seeing one of these teams earn the Lombardi Trophy in February, while the other, they could earn the #1 draft pick in April, or anything in between. And we've got the best seat in the house every step of the way.
So here come the Jaguars to take over for the first time behind Trevor Lawrence, their quarterback in season number 4.
Last year was a bit of a mixed bag for Lawrence as he started off looking like a budding superstar, but then he suffered an ankle injury and was a shell of himself the rest of the way. His team needs him to stay healthy if they plan on maximizing their full potential. If that ends up being the case, they'll have a good shot to win a lot of games here in 2024.
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. ETN once more. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd down and 6. Here's Lawrence. That's to the former Lion, Josh Reynolds. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
Going quickly here to Thomas. Touchdown, Jaguars! Brian Thomas, his first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Jags are on the board here first in the season opener. Excellent start there. First drive of the season, big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Well, the Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's coming off a great season where he put up career highs in yards and touchdowns, while also leading one of the most prolific scoring offenses in the NFL. The number one thing he did last season, though, staying healthy. When he's on the field, Miami can roll.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Again, it's Achane. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Tua now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Back to the ground, Achane. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 45 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Up the middle, Achane. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Devon Achane. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
On first down, right back to ETN. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. ETN up the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, Lawrence eluding the pressure right. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
He'll buy some time right. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
On third down, Lawrence finds his tight end Ingram. And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. And his kick here is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Tua. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Tua now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Short throw to Smith. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Tua going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away. Changes what your play calls are going.
Touchdown! Brenton Strange, a 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are able to extend their lead.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Look at the big fella go. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 75 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is down to 2. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return is Duvernay. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jacksonville offense gets the ball back. Travis Etienne and company head back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Here's Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Dancing to his left. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne, 56 yards. And the Jaguars are able to extend their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Tagovailoa to throw on second down here. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throw caught by Achane. Two are going to try and go quickly here. And again, it's Tagovailoa. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 44 yards. And the Dolphins get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Screenplay, here's Etienne. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 4. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now Lawrence flushed out right. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season, so let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin with the debut of the #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams in the Windy City, Tennessee in town to take on Chicago. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. Rome Odunze, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head over to Highmark Stadium to check out what's happening with the Bills. And that game has gone to halftime with the visiting Cardinals out on top. Zay Jones, a touchdown catch in that first half. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. C.J. Stroud has thrown a touchdown pass.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And the half will begin with a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He'll dump this off to Achane. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Second down at 6 now from the 42. A run straight ahead with Achane. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Tua. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. On second down, a run with Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. They go play action now. Lawrence. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Tua and the Dolphins offense staying put. They'll go for 2. Tua going to try and throw for it. And he's got it. The try for two is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Flush to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
2nd and 10 now. It's Lawrence. Off to Thomas on the left side. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. That is Josh Hines Allen working his way in for the sack.
And we keep calling him the other Josh Allen. He wants it to be known he's his own Josh Allen and finally had the breakout campaign many of us knew he was capable of a season ago with 17.5 sacks in 2023.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will pin them nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. On play action, Lawrence on the move to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. He's got a man, complete. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 66 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Throwing now, Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd down and 3. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jaguars put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. So Tua and the Dolphins down by 4. A little over a minute and a half remaining. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Tua. Short throw to Smith. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Here's 2nd down. Now Tua. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, this one's had a season's worth of thrills already, and it's still week 1. Here's 3rd down now. Throwing Tua. Connects with Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. He's got it complete to Waddle. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Tua. Short throw to Smith. All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. And this one is incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here's 1st down. Tua. Short throw to Smith. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 16 seconds, all that remain. 2nd down. Tagovailoa. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. This is 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence out to his left. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Well, going to be tough to get 2 plays out of this. This could very well be it. A final shot now for Lawrence. Steps away. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Dolphins, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.